Welcome to a reading for Aquarius. How you going, Aquarius? You've been standing your ground like a champion. Absolute champion. The ground under your feet means a lot. Incredible amount. But gee, it's been hard work. Such hard work. You've gone through so much conflict in the last few years, months, weeks. You're still going, but gee, you're getting tired. People have been really judging. Why can't you be a bit more like this, Aquarius? Why can't you be a bit more like that? And you're just going, look, I've had enough. Leave me alone. It's probably the best way of describing it. Just back off and leave me alone. Because you're changing so quickly at the moment. With all the planets moving into your sign, you've just got so much energy behind you. And a lot of people are trying to draw on your energy. Aquarius has got it going, Aquarius is happening, Aquarius, and you're just having to deal with all this stuff. You've had enough of other people's stuff. It says, I do not need to wait until I become perfect before I love myself. Well, I think the perfection's coming from the standards of others. You know, you need to be more like this, Aquarius. You need to be more like that. You need to be more like, we're used to you being. And you're far more complex than what you show a lot of people. Your inner world is vast. Vast and complex. The quickest way to create a wonderful life is to love yourself. Well, I think you've been putting a lot of energy out to others. You know, if I do this, will you love me? If you do that, will you love me? And I think you're becoming very aware of that. Or you're also noticing other people doing it in your environment and you just don't have a tolerance for that. You know, people try and get into your good graces. You know, if I do this, Aquarius, will you hang out with me? If I do that, will I do this? And it's just like, oh, come on, people, go. You know, settle down. It's all right. You do deserve all good. I know inwardly what is right for me. Well, this has been a struggle recently because you have been looking out into the world outside of you and just saying, you know, I don't like what I see out here. I'm going to pull my energy back into me. But by doing that, people, as I said, people are going, what are you doing? It's really important not to judge or criticize yourself for where you are right now. And don't let others do it to you either. You are free to love who you are, exactly who you are right now, warts and all. I forgive myself for any wrongdoing. You're really beating yourself up. And that needs to stop. Things aren't working out like you thought they really would. But that's okay. And I think you're realizing that. Some days it's good, some days it's bad. Yeah. Might be dealing with a job or a person. I think more along the lines of a person in a job. That some days they work really well and some days they don't. And you just really want some consistency. I am wonderful. I rejoice in the truth of my being. I accept it, and so it is. I let my light shine. When you do this, people react in all sorts of ways, don't they? In all sorts of ways. Everyone's had an opinion up until now. But basically, they just need to stand back, I hear you saying, and watch how it's done. Fantastic. And show us how it's done, Aquarius. Because you're starting to realise that what you think you manifest. And by all the people pleasing that's been going on in the past and people trying to people please you, you know, trying to please you, It's not working. I know I am one with all life. I am the beauty and joy of the universe, expressing and receiving. Well, getting the reciprocation has been the issue. I am part of the harmonious whole, as we all are. Harmony, I hear you saying. What's that? It's been anything but harmonious around you. Let's get into it. It's taken a while to get your show on the road, that's for sure. But you're doing it nonetheless. You could be going on a trip all of a sudden. I really have a desire to go wherever. I really have a desire to make my world incredible, to make it exactly as I want it to be. And I'm willing to go out into the world and do other things to see what else is out there. You're calling on your intuition. Basically, you're working from your intuition rather than from your mind. You're just rolling with the punches. So from the outside world, you can be looking quite erratic. You know, 1 minute you're doing this, 1 minute you're doing that, 1 minute you're doing something completely different. But it's all part of getting yourself to become a whole. And what is that hole, I hear you saying? Is it a hole in the ground I'm about to fall in, you know? Or is it the whole of me I'm looking for? So you're starting to see the patterns of, you know, I do the same things over and over again. I do the same things to get love, to be accepted, to be the best person at my job. And I don't see the pitfalls and fall into them. Well, the next time you do it, you might see the pitfalls, the hole in the ground, but you still fall into it. And the next time you do it, you see the hole in front of you you're about to fall into, and you might be able to just quickly sidestep, but you slide into it, you know. So eventually you'll get to a stage where you jump over that hole, or there is no hole at all. But it's a case of going out there and figuring out what are these pitfalls, because I tell you what, I'm sick of looking down at my feet constantly. I really would just like to be able to look up and look to spirit all the time instead of looking to the base reality of this universe, you know, this 3D matrix that we're in at the moment. I'm always sort of looking down, making sure I've got everything sort of covered here. But I just want to be the free, amazing human that I can be. Free and easy. You are very grateful for what you have around you, but I also believe that at a whim, you'd quite easily just leave it all and go. Speaking your truth. Be careful of this, I hear your guides saying. It could be fraught with danger. As in, it doesn't matter what you say, you're not going to get people to understand exactly where you're at, because you're figuring it out yourself. Excuse me, throat chakra. You're figuring it out yourself as well at the moment. Okay? And yeah, other people are going to come at you, as I said, and tell you what they think. Yeah, they're entitled to it in a certain regard. They are, yes, they are, no. But it is important to say, right, I've decided I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to be doing that, and I don't really care what you think. I'm just going to go do it because my intuition's telling me so. You're looking at the past mistakes, the relationships, knowing that these days, very different to how your parents or your grandparents were raised. These days, people come to relationships with a whole heap of past people. Very few people stay with their partner for the whole of their life. Yes, it happens. But I think you're coming to a realization that if I do go out and find somebody else, they're going to come with baggage. I come with baggage. I come with all the past stuff. But I think you're also realizing that you have to heal some of that past stuff before you enter into a relationship, or it affects this new relationship far more than it needs to. Yeah, wise. You want to create a new world for yourself. One of freedom and joy and creativity. I was going to say. So yeah, you're used to putting things in boxes and having them all that way. Stack everything up. I laugh at you demons. Yeah. Hey, forgive yourself for any wrongdoing. Don't beat yourself up. Because even though the things of the past might be done, if you keep on thinking of them every single day, you're putting yourself in this every single day. You end up in a fight or flight. Your adrenals get exhausted. So, as I said earlier, you do not have to wait till you become perfect before you love yourself. Loving yourself is the quickest way to create a wonderful life. Very hard to love yourself when you're in this scenario of fight or flight. You might have gone into, I don't know if you can see those people running up the stairs behind him. You might have gone into the fray with people by your side, but they were either lost in battle or you're the only one that's been able to get yourself out of the fray. It's time to look after you and grieve your losses. And take the time to think about the things of the past, but don't stay there. Do not stay there. Because if you stay there, you bring all that stuff into any new relationship that you might have. It's really important to also check to see how much of other people are still grieving their losses before you enter into a relationship with them. More advice. The wind's in my sails, I hear you say, and it might be time to set off from the shore. Pack light. Go solo. Realize that things have changed. Don't look back at things of the past and make judgments about it. Don't assume the things of the past are going to be the same in the future. Because it's your choice now to make that great leap, to set off on a brand new adventure, free of all the conflict and defeats of the past. It's time to clear the slate and move into a new future. Do it for you. Last bit of advice, please, for beautiful Aquarius. At the center of everything, there is light, and I am that light. And every word I say becomes a prayer. I am the author of my own story. Don't stay in the past. It's time to move into the future, free of the burden. Don't bring your past into this new relationship with self. I really hope that helped. I love you all, and bye for now.